My mother continued telling us, big, don't you grow, make sure she even need money to even do. And my mother, I don't used to go there. She was the one to that.
Mensan.
70% of everything.
When Big Brother calls your name, you must answer. Do you understand?
Yes, big brother.
There is nothing anybody can tell me. I think this season of Big Brother, the men have decided to break the stereotype that men do not cry. Because these men, this is going to be a long episode, and that's because in this episode, I'm going to tell you how Big Brother was threatened. I'm going to tell you how Big Brother almost came down into the house today. I'm going to tell you how Mensan broke down. I'm going to tell you what Rude Boy did to Big Brother and the plans that he has for the housemates. Hey guys, stay with me. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Lucy's Quick One, talking the Big Brother Naija show season 10, 10 over 10 minus tears plus tears, including violence and a lot of surprises. Guys, now I'm very sure for all those who have been watching social media, or probably you've been watching clips online, you probably would have been seeing this housemate called Mensan break down and cry on social media, and you'll be wondering like, what exactly is going on? I'm here to explain to you why. But first, if you're new here and you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so. This is Lucy's Quick One, where we talk Big Brother and other fun things right here on my channel. So back to Mensan. You know, for the past 3 days, the housemates have been taking turns to speak to Big Brother. I mean, they have seen it as an avenue to, have their therapy session with Big Brother. And everybody was taking their turns, and I've been talking about these housemates in most of my videos, only for us to get to the part of Mensan. And I would explain everything in detail about what happened. So Mensan was called into Big Brother's diary room, and then he gets there. Big Brother is talking to him, and then they are talking. The first thing that Big Brother was talking to Mensan about was about his outfit, because he was wearing, I even thought it was more about an electrical outfit, but apparently not. So he explained that he was wearing an outfit that signified somebody that was a prisoner. So he had like the handcuffs and the overall. And then Big Brother was like, this is not a prison. Why would you dress like this? So he said something. And for all those who have been watching Big Brother, you will notice that Mensan has been wearing outfits that are speaking to either a profession or a tribe. So he mentioned that the first day he wore his traditional attire, which was signifying that he was from Niger Delta. The second day he wore a lab coat, a stethoscope, he had a tie and everything, signifying that he's a doctor. Another time he was on black overall with a black bandana to signify that he is a gangster. And now he's wearing an overall with the handcuffs to signify that he is now in prison, and that he's trying to send a message because he's trying to build something or produce something after the show that would have to talk about the stories of people in Niger Delta, and how sometimes some people have dreams to be something, but based on the situation of things, they are, will I say, hindered from achieving their goals or their dreams. And Big Brother was like, okay, no problem. So he now goes to start talking about his upbringing, and he starts talking about his mom, and then talking about the fact that he really did not have a very easy childhood, and how much he had to suffer while he was young with his siblings and all of that. And then he kept on talking about the fact that he wants to break that jinx, and then he's not in Big Brother's house for just himself. He's also here for his siblings. He just wants to break the jinx of poverty and all of that. And so this guy broke down and was crying. I was just like, because my last episode I talked about it, I said that there are various reasons why these guys are crying. First of all, they are human, so there's tension, they are facing reality, and of course it could be a script. But while I was watching Mensan, I didn't know where to place this guy. So he now said that he's an emotional person, and then he could break down and all of that just to relieve emotions. And that because he's a very jovial person, people do not really know what he's going through personally. All well and good. Big Brother continues the conversation with him, and then one thing led to another. He talks about the issue that he had with K-Bobo. So Big Brother was like, what exactly happened with you and K-Bobo? Guys, this guy was talking about K-Bobo and the issue that he had. Before we knew what was happening, he was back into his family again. And so Mensan started talking about his family again, and he went deeper this time, talking about how his parents were not together, and how, despite everything, his mom is just so calm, so good, and his mom was always talking well about the dad. And even though they were separated, the mom will always tell the children to get close to their dad. And for him, he's not sure about his siblings, but for him, he always wanted to have that relationship with his father. So while he was able to at least talk to his father once or twice, he heard his father's side of the story, and his father was always saying good things about his mom. And then he said he would look at his mom, and his mom is saying good things about the father. So in his head, he's wondering, if you are saying good things about mom and you are saying good things about dad, what exactly is the problem? Why did you guys not work out? Sorry, my voice had to go hey, because this guy was really into the whole thing. It really does hurt him while growing up, when people will say, oh, my dad did this for me, my mom did this for me, but he didn't have that opportunity to be able to express those kind of things. And it helps him to relieve that trauma of his upbringing and how he grew up. And I know that for a fact, right? Some people have that. Some people who probably lost their parents while they were growing up, or whose parents are not together, they have one or two things to say about this whole thing and how they wish that their parents were together and all of that. But it's not my place to talk about that. Back to Mensan. So while Mensan was talking about it, he now talked about how he tried his best to have a relationship with his dad, because that's what he wanted. And then his mom would always say, have a relationship with your dad and all of that. And that he noticed that his mom did not really have any other person supporting her. No man was coming for her. I mean, this guy just kept on talking, and he was crying profusely. This guy was crying so hard. Mucus was coming out from his nose, saliva from his mouth. And Big Brother was like, Mensan. Mensan did not listen. He kept on talking about everything, and then he went on to talk about the fact that, okay, he was trying to still get to know his dad, but unfortunately his dad now died last year, and he just broke down deeper. And Big Brother was saying, Mensan. Mensan didn't answer Big Brother. He kept on going.
She was the one to that
Mensan.
70% of everything.
Then he had to now talk about law school, that he went to law school late, he has not seen his results, he wants to be a lawyer and doesn't know what will come out of that result, and he's not even sure if he did well or not, because it has been just a lot for him when he now finally landed there. And he talked about how, it was so sad that his father died, and then everything is the way it is. He now calmed down. Big Brother was like, I was already wearing my clothes to come outside. How will I be calling you and you will not listen and you will not answer me? Next time when I call you, you will answer me. It's part of the rule book. Don't you read your rule book? He was like, I'm sorry, Big Brother. Guys, I'll be lying to you if I tell you that I was not moved to tears. I was moved to tears. I was confused. I was dumbfounded. One thing I can say about all of these housemates is that they have their A game. They are all on their A game. This guy took close to an hour in that diary room, crying his eyes out. People could not even ask him any more questions again, because the guy had gone for hours. Or for me, this guy was crying for so long. The Big Brother didn't. He almost wanted to say, "Get out of my diary room. Get out!" Because you can cry and cry and cry, but when somebody is trying to calm you down, especially on a show like this, you are supposed to calm yourself down. But if you look at it on the other hand, you can't really control how far somebody's emotions will go. And at some point, Mensan was saying things like, he couldn't even afford a therapy session or to go for therapy, because of course it's expensive, and that he couldn't afford it. So he being in that diary room was just an opportunity to unpack everything that he has been holding back for the past 20 something years of his life. And I was just looking at Mensan, and I was like, bruh. So for all those who are wondering that, what exactly happened to Mensan, that's exactly what happened. So to douse the tension, Big Brother had to throw in some jokes. You know the way Big Brother does, right? He had to throw in some jokes to make Mensan laugh and smile again. And then he went back to talk about the whole K-Bobo situation, and if he thought it was overboard, and he was like, no. He felt like what K-Bobo said about his mom was actually overboard, and he didn't like it and all of that, and he's not scared about K-Bobo's stature and all of that. Big Brother was like, see, your diary session has come to an end. Thank you so much for coming. You may leave. Big Brother sat down, and they had to be blowing. In fact, they put on the AC, fan, everything on Big Brother's head, because Big Brother was like, these guys will run me crazy. These guys want me to go mad. I could hear the anger in Big Brother's voice. He felt so disrespected and disregarded, because it was like, how would I be calling you and you will not answer me? I was calling you to calm you down. Take a deep breath. You were not listening to me. So guys, that's majorly it about Mensan and his entire meltdown breakdown today in the diary room. I mean, there were other housemates who had their diary sessions, but this guy was at the peak. Now I could read comments of people saying that he was playing his script. Oh, in fact, he's the king of all the tears in the house, or he's the king of all the tearers in the house. Like nobody can beat this guy. I have never seen this kind of thing in my life. In the whole of Big Brother, from year one till now, I have never seen this kind of outpour of tears coming from a housemate, either male or female. But I just know that somehow these guys are changing the narrative when it comes to men crying. I mean, these guys are expressive. Somebody sent a message before I even started filming about why would the guy be crying? And I said, sometimes it's actually good that men express themselves like this. I feel like sometimes men, and correct me if I'm wrong, they are scared to like express themselves like this, and because they cannot express themselves, they do not open up and do not allow people to love them, and that's the reason sometimes it feels like they are alone or they are loners. That's because they find it hard to like open up, express themselves, and allow people to love them. However, when you listen to men again, you hear things like I opened myself up, or I was open to this person and I got hurt. So all of these things actually does make a man, but still I stand on this notion that I don't think it's wrong for you to be expressive. However, because this is a game, I don't just know how to place it. Now, like I said, there were other housemates who spoke with Big Brother. There was Thelma Lawson as well. I mean, there was also Sabrina. Sabrina, while she was coming in, had an entire entourage, welcome her into Big Brother's diary room, and then she was talking about how many wives she has. She goes on to talk about Jason J and how she and him just had, a little bit of back and forth about their wager task, and how she wanted to be a host and the host was given to somebody else, and how she feels like Jason J is leading as a leader or as the head of house in Big Brother's house and all of that. So she spoke about all of that, and she also took her time in Big Brother's diary room. Now we move away from that and we move on to Rude Boy.
So that's it for me. So I will not say more than that. Everybody should do their tenure the way they want to do it.
Rude Boy came in with violence, and this is where I feel like Big Brother was threatened. So Rude Boy comes in, and Big Brother is talking to Rude Boy about how the whole house has been, the whole coordination and everything, and he was telling Big Brother that, see, first of all, I know I had a little bit of issue with the head of house, who is Jason J, but you see, if I ever become head of house, you see all these things that you are saying, Big Brother, it will not happen. There will be what I call a military regime. I was like, Big Brother was like, are you threatening me? He said, no, I'm just telling you that the only person that will be able to control me will be you, because there's a lot of unruliness, there's a lot of untardiness, there's a lot of disrespect and disregard going on in the house. People do not respect the head of house. People are doing things according to how they want to do it. I mean, for me personally, watching the show, I feel like some of the housemates are daring Big Brother, because he would say, he will call your name and say, Sabrina, report to the diary room, and you will take your time. Like yesterday, Joanna took her time to wear her shoes and apply lip gloss, and Big Brother said, don't keep me waiting again. Even Rude Boy self, when Big Brother called him and said, come to the diary room, he was still eating and still drank water, then went to go and hit the gong of the diary room and went back to drink water. I mean, like Big Brother, I've been seeing this kind of comments that Big Brother will come down this season. I think he will, because this season is so intense as it is interesting. So Rude Boy was, going all about it and saying that if he ever becomes head of house, there's going to be some drastic changes. Like, this is not your father's house, there should be a bit of coordination. I said, all right. So Big Brother asked Rude Boy, says, so Rude Boy, going forward, right, do you have anything else you want to say? Before then, Rude Boy I had already spoken about the alarm and how the alarm wakes them up, and I was laughing so hard. So while he was about to leave, he was like, Big Brother, you are the Alpha and the Omega, you are the one that knows everything. I really think that you should change the alarms that used to wake us up, because it could lead somebody to glory. I was like, what?
Biggie, I take God beg. You see that alarm? My doctor say make you know alarm also. You fit change the alarm. If care not taking, see your fit go go person.
I mean, it was a subtle kind of jab / threat for me. I was like, are you trying to tell Big Brother how he will wake you up? And I know Big Brother can be savage. I know that come tomorrow, the way we wake them up. Because he just kept on saying that, even though I'd be strong boy, I'm like, oh God, who did this man called Big Brother bring into his house? guys, the diary session was so interesting, so filled with different emotions, different people talking about housemates and how they feel, different people using the opportunity to like express themselves fully. And I really do understand, right? And I just don't know how far these guys will push Big Brother or what he's going to do to them. But I mean, everybody has not spoken, but these are the people whose diary sessions like really caught my attention, and I really had to like explain to you, just in case you're seeing clips online or you're seeing things online and you do not really understand what exactly is going on. I can't really wait to see when Rude Boy becomes head of house. I mean, I think I'm really anticipating it now to see what exactly he will do differently. Let me know what you think about all I have said in the comments section about men, about Mensan, about Sabrina, about Rude Boy, about any of the housemates. I would like to know down there in the comment section. I got you with more right here on this channel. Please do not forget to subscribe, drop your comments, and let's have an interesting conversation. Till next time, remember to enjoy every moment. Bye.